Harper, the All-American, moving now towards Owen Graves defensively. Up top again, still no shot as it goes out wide to the left. 20 seconds and counting on this possession here for the Tritons. We're scoreless, about 2.5 minutes in to our opening quarter. Shot clock becoming still more of a factor with 15. On the near post, pass comes loose off a stick. Tritons will have to regather on the near sideline. Stepped out of bounds, they lost track. Adam Lipinski ran out of real estate and ran it right out of bounds like he was Dan Orlowski on a football field. Well, let's be a little bit more nice, so to speak. Wasn't quite that egregious. 11:55 to go. First quarter, no score. Of course, that a famous faux pas from yesteryear in the NFL. Man ran right out of bounds for a safety. The concept was the same as Court Lehman. Second year midi for the Griz. Will pass it out wide towards Sully Kroger, who has really had a great first couple games, whether it be scoring goals or facilitating. Really has been outstanding in both regards. He's had as many as 8 ground balls in his first 2 games as well. Did so in 1 game. Space on the near post. Shot is off to the left of the cage. Michael Ray got himself to a real good spot. Kind of putting his shoulder down to find some space, but couldn't put one on the cage. 11-12 in the first. Sully Kroger, spinning middle. 2 men converge. Got the shot off, stopped on the near post. Gulbrandson able to make the save. As he fires far away from pressure. Defenseman William Mack will look for somewhere to go. Comes back towards the netminder. Directing traffic. Comes back towards Mack. Have to hurry here. 3, 2, 1. I don't think they got it across in time. They did not. 22nd violation against UC San Diego. And it was a spot there where Mack, I think, lost track of the time. I think he could have turned on more speed on that far sideline, didn't do it. As a result, kind of was sauntering across right as that 20 seconds ticked off, and the Tritons give the ball up. Ball was on that far sideline as well. Official stop play. Ball is going to stay with Montana. Believe there is a clock deal going on, yes. Officials wanted the shot clock changed from 80 to 75, and now we're ready to resume play here in this first quarter. 5 minutes gone. In X with Reese Barron. What's he got in mind? On the near post, he shoots it, save made, rebound is off to the left of the cage, controlled by Montana's Kellen O'Brien. Wraparound shot off the post. It was actually Reeser with the shot for Montana. Brendan Reeser. One of this contingent of new players in the Griz roster this season. Been playing well in the first couple of games in maroon and silver. Attack towards the near post. Braxton McAngus. Pass up top. Shot knocked down off the stick of Kroger. Gets to his own rebound. Passes inside. McAngus shot knocked aside by the defense. Be a couple of legs and sticks getting in the way for the Tritons. Ball still alive for Montana though. Far sideline. An attack from Kroger, getting a screen from McAngus. Whistle stops play. I believe an illegal screen called on McAngus. Ball back to UC San Diego. Nine minutes, first quarter remaining. A quiet start in terms of balls into the back of the net on both sides. And really you can look at individual games from both of these teams where that has been a trend for both at times. Montana's offense has gotten more rolling in their 2 wins from the second into the third, where we saw yesterday game between the Tritons and Bison, where it remained scoreless until about the 2-minute remaining mark of the first quarter. Didn't see a single goal on either side. See if that changes here with Edwards. Firing a wild pass. Gets to where he wanted it to. In the middle, a shot well to the left of the net. Jacob Najet took the shot in that spot. Running back into play is Edwards. Side dodge, challenging defensive midfielder Gabe Miller. Inside it comes. Edwards and Wider get locked up. Joey Kortner trying to come in support. Netminder, Wider still sees it alive on the back line. He eventually finds his way to it. Now throws it out of traffic towards Alex Heck. Finding some space is Heck. Deflecting traffic, finds Court Lehman at the midfield stripe and able to find it across with a couple of seconds of leeway. As the Grizzlies set up yet another possession. Both teams over halfway through this first quarter looking to find the first goal into the back of the net to draw first blood. Asa Deskins on the near wing. Comes more towards GLE, now behind an X. As Reese Barron there is going to fake like he's going to run towards a screen, now does. Kroger, O'Brien reaches up, trying to feed it through the middle, had a pass deflected, but right to Heimbach. He's got 4 or 5 bodies in front of him, couldn't work his way towards the cage and has it scooped up by Gulbrandsen. Took on some contact from behind and a flag flown as a result. Just waiting for the official to stop play. Now he does. We will see a penalty charge to Montana in this spot with 6:49 in our first quarter, no score. But now a man down situation on the way for the Griz. Asa Deskins in the penalty area. Didn't see the officials indicate what the flag was for. Looked like Deskins' stick came from behind, reached down below towards the feet of a Triton. That would be the case. That would be a tripping call. Either way, a man-up's chance for the Tritons, trying to find the back of the net first here in this opening quarter. A little bit of space on the near side, but Noah Skinner's going to keep it moving away. In X, here's Edwards. Has it back on the near post. Diagonally feeds. Eventually comes into the middle. A shot and a save from Kortner. Reaching out to the right. Good stop from Joey Kortner. 6:20 remaining in the first quarter. Trying to use some speed. Has a couple of white shirts around him. Reese McIntosh, no help available. And the Tritons able to win it back. Initially anyway. Ball comes loose and now is resettled by Ian Hahn in the offense. Deskins still in the penalty area for the Griz as well. Man down situation continues for Montana in this spot. Pass almost intercepted off the stick of Mason Slapper. Owen Graves looking to come over and support. Ball stays with the Tritons with 45 seconds left to shoot it. 5.5 minutes remain in our opening quarter. Just over halfway through this possession. Shot stopped by Kortner, reaching a bit to the right, maybe also glanced ever so slightly off the far post. And that looks straight in front, but another save made by Joey Kortner as Mason Slapper is able to bring it into the offensive end for Montana. Asa Deskins has come out of the penalty area as well. We remain scoreless with the Griz possessing. 5 minutes remain in our first quarter. Who will have a happy trek back towards their respective campus? Montana quite the ways to go over the next couple of days. O'Brien takes a shot as it stopped on the near post. Team will start to make their way, Grizzlies will anyway, towards Missoula after the game this evening. We'll get a chunk of it out of the way before the big travel chunk on President's Day. Mac Angus to the cage. Save is made. Good stop there. Seemingly both goalies feeding off each other in this opening quarter. Both have made some nice saves. And a lot of talent in between the pipes in this one on both sides. Both players were all conference first team goalies in 2025. This year, 2 starting goalie, third year total for Joey Kortner, but his second full season in between the pipes. Gulbranson seeing his second full season after being the starter last year for the Tritons. Side dodge coming from Kale Gonzalez. He feeds off, far wing, keeps it moving quickly to Edwards, and X has been working there quite a bit, dealing with Wider. Shot from the far wing, partially deflected by Joey Kortner. Reaching up high, saw it ever so slightly move away from his stick. Saw Joey Kortner doing part of his pregame ritual late this morning. Likes to, on game days, get himself into the gym, get some light cardio going. Myself, I'm on the road, like to make that effort, at least get a little physical activity in. So it's seemingly become a little bit of a, I guess you call, tradition over the last few years. Making yourself comfortable in a hotel gym late in the morning. Probably going to see Kortner at some point. Gabe Miller works his way across. Make it clear to set up another possession. Into the final 3 minutes of this first quarter. Will someone find the back of the net? Kellen O'Brien, Griz offense hoping. Seeing a man cut towards the middle. This one is shot off to the left of the cage. Michael Ray finding a bit of space, but puts it to the left. 43 seconds left on this possession for Reese Barron in the offense, who brings it back into play. Court Lehman comes middle, has some space and speed, shoots off the post, the near post. The aggressiveness from Court Lehman. Across the midfield stripe, knocked there from a Triton. Asa Deskins trying to get involved to scoop it off the carpet. Ray is in there as well, a battle for it. We see a whistle stop things, and this will be red ball, maroon ball rather. So here comes Sully Kroger back towards the net. Spinning away from one man. Lehman using a partial screen or giving some space to Kroger. Instead going to come this way to Ray. Partial screen from Reeser there. Or O'Brien, beg your pardon. Under 2 to go in the quarter. Grizzlies possessing, looking to get on the scoreboard. Far post. Sticks knocking it loose. Lehman able to pick it up off the carpet. Lehman to O'Brien. Men cutting through the middle. Pass over a stick. Kroger's shot. Partially deflected. Ends up with Barron. GLE on the near post. Goes up high. Gets to an angle and scores. Who else but Reese Barron? Has he been on a heater, putting ones into the back of the nets? MCLA awards both goalies and Offensive Player of the Week awards nationwide. You have to think, with the production that he has had these last couple of days, have to think that he'd be considered. 1-0 Griz, less than 90 ticks to go in the quarter. Shot clock is a factor here, but just barely if you're the Tritons. Edwards has got some room, but is going to peel off and keep possession, looking towards the bench. UC San Diego does have both timeouts still in this half. They want to think about one of those here to draw something up in the waning stages of the quarter. Can this offense break through to tie the game at the end of the quarter? Loose on the back line, comes now more towards the wing, left side. Defensive pressure there. They go across the grain, trying to keep the defense moving. Shot well to the right of the net. Kortner able to come well away from the cage and grab it. But now a whistle will stop play. Is there a flag down someplace? I'm not seeing. Ball will be awarded back to UC San Diego in the far corner. 32 seconds remaining. Pass gets away, but no pressure around the ball, allowing the Tritons to get back to it slowly. Cerebral, they still can be to a degree with 20 seconds. Shot from distance, way over the head of Kortner. Way over his head there. 17 ticks to go. Here comes Edwards from X with Wider right with him, and seemingly having him follow him around throughout the course of the quarter. Ball knocked down on the carpet near the bench, but kept alive. Final 10 seconds, 5, 4, 3, well out wide. A shot is off the near siding of the cage. Far cage, rather. Started to celebrate a little bit to folks in the crowd, but that one went off the siding of cage, not into the back of the net. And that is how our first quarter ends. Relatively even moving first quarter. 1-0 advantage for Montana after a quarter of play. You're locked in to Montana Grizzly Lacrosse on MCLA TV, Grizlax.com, and the ESPN MT app. After one quarter of action at Legacy Stadium here in Aurora, Colorado, it's the Grizzlies 1 and the UC San Diego Tritons 0.
It's easy to see why Montana is the treasure state. At the University of Montana, we look inside. We see an old truth with fresh eyes, that Montana's greatest treasure is its people. So whatever tomorrow brings, we meet it the only way we know how, with a mind for making. Because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
About ready to resume what is quarter number 2, or about to, I should say, resume our contest, but start what is our second quarter. Final seconds of our in-between quarter break ticking on down. Montana, thanks to Reese Barron, have themselves a 1-0 advantage, and that's the only goal we have seen so far. Put into the back of the net by Barron. To the top left-hand corner, and the net now occupied by his teammate Joey Kortner. His teams flip the field for our second off a face-off. Who else? Mention him, a vacuum. Mason Slapper picked it up. That the good news, but he throws it away. Moments later, after doing a nice job from the wing to pick up the ball off a face-off, was able to check one box, but throws it away. So that allows UC San Diego to possess for the first time here as we get rolling in this second quarter. One trend from the quarter you surely probably liked if you are thinking about it from a Griz perspective, as a dodge comes into the middle with Slapper there defensively. Solid looking quarter for Joey Kortner. Made a number of nice saves. Edwards looking for somewhere to go, but that has been a trend also in X. Seemingly every time Edwards has possessed an X, we've seen Alex Wider, one of the better defensemen at this level of lacrosse, following him around, trying to take him out of the equation from the Griz defensive perspective. Shot clock at 20 with Edwards possessing, moving into X. This will be Lipinski, Adam Lipinski looking for somewhere. Out wide, far side, Edwards, 10 seconds, shoots it. Kortner was there on the far post, lunging down to the right. Not sure if it was the stick of Kortner getting in the way, or if it maybe bounced off a siding of the cage, well away from Kortner. Either way, shot clock does reset to 60. Still possessing the ball, UC San Diego. Reese McIntosh following it out wide, where Edwards will come towards the cage and feed towards X. Carson Murillo moves it into the middle. On the near post, looking for some space, goes back towards X and Murillo. Lost it briefly. Gets it out wide over the head of Edwards. Was able to get the stick on it to keep this play alive. Edwards going to dodge against the captain McIntosh. Looks on the doorstep, far post, and a pass partially deflected, allowing Kortner to get back to it and find McIntosh. McIntosh Good transition offense. Owen Graves moves to Kroger. His save shot stopped on the near post. Penalty flag is out. Offsides is called against UC San Diego. Mentioned a quick transition offensive effort from Montana in that spot. Too many men on that side of the field, the left-hand side of the midfield stripe. Sees a penalty called against the Tritons. First man-up situation for Montana in the game. 12:35 before halftime. Grizzlies trying to get it to a 2-goal lead. Max Scott keeping the Scott tradition alive, and the Griz family takes it back into play. Second year in the program after playing with his brother Damian last year. Who knows, maybe Damo's checking this game out. What's up, Damo, if you're watching? Here's Reeser moving into the middle. Deskins playing catch with Reeser, kicking it around, trying to keep it alive. Able to come in support is Sully Kroger. Saved the possession. Kroger sees it moved. Shot is stopped on the far post. Looks like that one was headed to the right of the cage anyway, but able to find a clear attempt as Goldbertson passing it up ahead, eventually seeing it across the timeline, or midfield stripe, beg your pardon. We're not playing basketball. Ball into the middle, goes out wide to the left. Rolling it into play, waiting is Gonzalez. Trying to get a look at this zone defensive look. This way, GLE near side. Keeping it, now moving to the middle of the field. Mason Slapper is there, making sure a shot doesn't come off. Edwards challenging the defense on the far side, feeds it more towards GLE, far post, bounces to the near corner. Shot clock starting to become a factor at 15. Trying to go through traffic, pass somehow finds Edwards with 10 seconds left to shoot. Comes out top, and a first goal into the back of the net on the feed from Edwards. Jacob Najet makes it 1-1 here in this second quarter. Initially, that chance set up, finding Edwards. Somehow a pass evaded about 3-4 men in maroon. Got through traffic. Once Edwards was able to get there, made his way to X and found a man in front of the net open, and Najet was able to take advantage to tie up the game with 10:49 left in the second quarter. From the wings, both teams trying to pick up a ground ball. It will be the Tritons winning it this time as Sam able to get things, no pun intended, settled down. As this cerebral offense will get continuing to work. Alex Whiter trying to knock it away on the back line, walking a tightrope, and is able to do so. Thought maybe ran out of bounds, running out of real estate. John Butler looking for a clear on a pass from Joey Kortner, trying to pick it up. Long stick midi is able to evade a couple of men, but throws it away looking for Kroger. Here comes the Tritons, maybe looking at a transition attempt. They see plenty of men in maroon back defensively, so they will peel it off just a bit with Sam Janik. In terms of offensive zone possession time in this quarter, the advantage surely has been with UC San Diego. But it's been a spot where they seemingly have just been more interested in working the ball around, just making sure it stays down on this side of the field. Looking at this zone defense. Coming towards the near post, a shot is well to the right of Kortner from Ian Hahn. 37 seconds to shoot it. Like the number for a Montana Grizzly linebacker, this will be brought back into play. .30 seconds on the shot, 9:10 to go in the second quarter. We're tied at 1. What's been a defensive battle to this point. In X, moving far corner. Quickly cuts to the far wing. Edwards trying to go at McIntosh. Staying with them is the veteran. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Shot comes well over the cage as well. Up and over. Ball's still alive in X. Shot clock violation called. Just a couple of seconds left after that shot went high and over the net. Spot where you oftentimes see a team give up possession, try to set up the ride. That's what the Tritons did here. Reeser in the offensive end trying to pick up a loose ball. Tritons have other ideas. Let's go. Branson ends up with it. So UC San Diego will look to get right back towards an offensive possession. Place they have seemingly lived here in this second quarter. Stayed low scoring with not much finding the back of the net, but UC San Diego will continue to work it in the offensive zone. Whistle sounds to stop play. Ball going back to the Grizzlies. Looks like there was a little bit of confusion at the substitution area. So it could have been a situation that UC San Diego, I would assume that's the case, where they were caught off sides with players coming on and off the field. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there. Reese McIntosh, a relatively rudimentary clear here. As Montana will now have a chance to set things up offensively, get things back rocking and rolling. Goals have been few and far between, obviously, here in this first half, with it deadlocked at 1 with the Grizzlies possessing. Speaking of old number 1, here's Reese Barron to Kroger. Braxton McAngus moves it into the middle to Axel Heimbach. Back to McAngus. Scored his first goal as a Grizzly yesterday. Transfer student out of Saskatchewan. McAngus, what's he have in mind here with Reese Barron? Available at his disposal if he wants to go that way. Comes to the near post, as do 2 or 3 men defensively. Able to keep it in his stick, though. Comes into the middle. Heimbach, or O'Brien rather, moves it. Reeser goes high and scores. Grizzlies lead it 2-1. Has this kid been impressive? Brandon Reeser, 2-1 Griz. Not much of a space there either. Had to sneak that shot in one little opening in the top right-hand corner to beat Gulbranson, and that's exactly what he does. Nicely done. Tritons do get it back off the face-off with the 1-goal deficit. Penalty flag is also down on the field. So a man-up spot coming. Edwards' shot nowhere near the net. That must have deflected off something. Officials will let it keep on going. Again with a penalty flag down. Into the middle. Pass intercepted by Kortner, trying to go to X. Now a penalty will be called against the Griz. Another man-up spot coming for UC San Diego. Delay of game call against the Griz. 6:11 left before halftime. Tritons trying to tie it again. Popular man in X moves it across the way. Comes more middle, now on the near side. Edwards has it back. Looks for someone available in the middle. Not there. Now finds a man. Shot. Was that in? No. Somehow Kortner makes a lunging save, I believe, with his back foot. How did he stop that one? I have no idea. Looked like Jacob Najet had a clear chance. Now the other way. Here comes Ray. Man wide open. Barron buries it. A 2-goal lead for Montana. Second goal of the day for Reese Barron. 5:24 to go before halftime. On a little zhuzh of momentum in the last few minutes for U of M. The way goals have been tough to come by so far in this game. A little 2-0 spurt in a few minutes. Feels like a little momentum push. As Wyatt Nelson take the draw. This one will be taken, though, by the Tritons coming quickly towards the cage. Far post look to the right of Kortner. Blake Zimmerman does a nice job to win that face-off and go right towards the net, trying to challenge Kortner, but his shot was way to the right. 5 minutes left in our second quarter. Whistle stops play again, seeing the shot clock didn't reset. Was just stuck on 75. I figured the officials were going to eventually blow the whistle, like it was a too short song, and eventually it did happen. Back to the action with the Tritons trailing by a pair. Edwards working. It's been seemingly dealing with Wider all game long. In the middle with 40 left in the possession. A pass is errant. Can they keep it alive? No. Goes out of bounds. Unforced error rather, goes back to the Grizzlies, who quickly look to work it back up with Deskins. And he is able to work it across on the far or near sideline with Kroger. Good job by Montana there, quickly racing into the offensive end. Knowing if you hurry to a degree, you don't let the ride get set up of UC San Diego. Makes it a bit easier to work your way into the offensive side of the equation. Lehman in the offense, working with less than 4 minutes in the half. Pass away from the stick of Barron, but still gobbled up by Ray. Near post, spins, gets a good spot, shoots and scores! Nicely done to make it 4-1. Whistle sounds, Michael Way and the Griz are fired up, and Albert Mann wants a timeout. 3:44 left before halftime. A 3-0 run from the Griz makes it 4-1. Timeout on the field. We'll see if the Tritons can get some momentum back. Grizzlies running and rolling in this first half offensively, at least the last few minutes. Timeout on the field. We're back after this with Montana leading 4-1.
It's easy to see why Montana is the treasure state. At the University of Montana, we look inside. We see an old truth with fresh eyes, that Montana's greatest treasure is its people. So whatever tomorrow brings, we meet it the only way we know how, with a mind for making. Because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
At the Stone of Accord, our liquor store has an extensive selection of Irish whiskeys, wine, and local spirits. We also have exciting events daily, and our complimentary beverages are always served with a smile. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino. Bring the whole family to the Stone of Accord for a wonderful brunch. From traditional comfort food to eclectic specials, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And it wouldn't be a proper Missoula brunch without an Irish coffee and a mimosa. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino.
Second quarter about ready to resume out of the timeout. First time out of the half used from UC San Diego. Tucker Sargent and the Grizzlies still have a full gamut available. Off a face-off, push in the back is called against the Grizzlies, so the ball will be awarded to UC San Diego. Start off a possession after a 3-0 run spurt as seeing U of M's push their lead out to 3. And this feels like now a big 3 minutes and change of this first half. Can UC San Diego kind of stem it back in their favor going into the locker room break at half? Or will Montana continue this push of momentum to take a firm grasp of this game going into halftime? We'll find out over the next 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Shot far side, Kortner right there. That's one thing if you're U of M. that you have to like. A lot of things that you've seen that you probably like if you're a Griz fan. But one thing that's looked extremely good so far in this half has been Joey Kortner in net. All the talent in the world, as we've mentioned. Defensive Conference Player of the Year last year for the Grizzlies. First team All-Conference and All-American selection as well. Just about any accolade you could pile up for him. Surely a lot expected from a player coming back for another season. Not that he hasn't looked good in his first couple of games, but to this point has looked outstanding. Reese Barron spins away, shoots, and a save is made by Gulbranson. Nifty there from Barron, just kind of spinning around in front of the net. Spin cycling at least one man. Can the ride make something happen? No. It's dropped into the bucket on the far side with 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Bit of space there on the near post. Shot not coming. Miller almost came from behind and knocked that ball loose. Bit more this way now in X. Edwards. About halfway through the possession now with the ball on this side of the field. Miller there defensively affecting the shot nicely as it comes up and over the net to the left. Kortner appreciated that on the near post, kind of pointing back at Miller after making his presence felt defensively. In the middle, Slapper there, comes out wide on the far post. Edwards is going to try to wrap around on the near side, no. Keeps it over there, shot into the back of the net. Relatively tough angle, cutting the deficit back down to 2, 4-2 scores. The Tritons find a big goal in the final 2 minutes of this half. .119 before halftime. Tritons find a push here at the end of the half. Can they push it further? Face-off one, good place to start from Zimmerman. Comes to the net, his shot's to the right. Tried to do it all in one fatal swoop, a face-off win and a quick race to the cage. Put one to the right. But have liked his aggressive attacks towards the net after a face-off win. We've seen that twice now the last couple of minutes in this quarter. 1 minute left before halftime. Ball controlled by UC San Diego. Shot clock is not a factor if they don't want it to be. Bit of space on the near side. Into the middle. Shot knocked down by the defense. That was Mason Slapper, I believe, getting in the way. Actually, beg your pardon, John Butler knocking that shot down. Nicely done from Butler. Junior from Minnesota. Whistle sounds. One timeout was available for UC San Diego. Can't take them home with you, so they will use their final timeout here. 34 seconds left before halftime. Montana Grizzlies lead the UC San Diego Tritons by a score of 4-2. Both teams wrapping up their action here at the Rocky Mountain Rumble. Montana, after a lot of travel being had this weekend, will have a weekend off next week before heading back to the road. Kind of an interesting sequence from their perspective. They will be playing just one game at the tail end of this month, February 27th at Utah State. Was scheduled to be a 2-game weekend, but had one game canceled, scheduled to play against Northern Arizona, but have had to put their season on hold for now due to a team mono outbreak. Kind of an interesting and unfortunate circumstance there. But only one game in 2 weeks for these Montana Grizzlies. UC San Diego playing in the SLC conference. Surely they will be a contender in that conference. Have to deal with Cal State San Marcos, though, however. Team that surely looked strong here this weekend. They finished 3-0, punctuated by a win over Montana State, the first game you saw here on MCLA TV and ESPN MT of our doubleheader. 15 seconds left in the quarter. Edwards trying to make something happen against Alex Heck. Throws one into the middle. Clock at 10. Shot into traffic, knocked away by guess who? Mason Slapper with 5. Coming across the midfield strike, has pressure coming from behind. Flag doesn't come out. Final seconds will tick off. That will do it for halftime. A little bit surprised a flag didn't come out with Slapper getting taken out at the midfield stripe, but our first half indeed is in the books. Grizzlies use a little 3-0 push in that second quarter to get something going offensively to what otherwise was a defensive battle on both sides of the equation. Montana will take a 2-goal lead with them into our second half after 2 quarters of play. U of M leads UCSD by a score of 4-2. Triton's looking for a positive result to end their weekend. How did they get here? Won their first game of play a few weeks ago, or last week rather, against an MCLA D1 squad, UCLA. Good win there. As I mentioned, losing to Montana State in their first game of this Rocky Mountain Rumble 8-2, winning yesterday handily over the Bison of NDSU 12-5. They will resume their schedule next week, playing on their home field next Saturday, a week from today, hosting Chico State. Then the next week, they will also be at home. Their next couple of weeks actually can look forward to home games. 1 game each of the next, looks like 4 weekends. Surely the game I would think they'll have scheduled, circled on their schedule, March 13th, when they will be facing off with Cal State San Marcos at home, a night game as well. That one probably will have some fervor attached to it, to regional rivals there. San Diego and UC Santa Cruz coming up on the schedule. So a lot of the Golden State of California coming up in the coming days and weeks for UC San Diego. First home weekend for the Griz will be first weekend of March actually, March 6th through the 8th. So if anybody from the Griz Lax Fun Club may be making a few plans, of course the moniker for that great Griz Lacrosse fan base, it's been developed over the last couple of years. Griz Lax Fun Club will convene at Washington Grizzlies Stadium February 6th through the 8th. All 3 games so that weekend will be conference games, their first conference games in the PNCLL, hosting Gonzaga, Central Washington, and the University of Idaho. Evenings start on Friday evening and then high noon on both Saturday and Sunday. Again, taking a little bit of a look ahead for what the Grizzlies and Tritons have coming as we are at the half here at Legacy Stadium. Cherry Creek Schools have been a great host here in Aurora, Colorado. Halftime score 4-2. Montana leads UC San Diego. We'll step away for now. Maybe a chance to take a little bit of a breather, stretch the legs out a little bit. My perspective, maybe get a little water. We're back in a couple of minutes. Grizzlies lead the Tritons by a pair. Halftime score 4-2 with Montana over UC San Diego.
Grizzlies can fix just about anything. That's why the University of Montana is the cybersecurity center for the Treasure State, training the next generation to defend what matters most. We deliver graduates with skills to fill more than 1,100 open cybersecurity jobs in Montana. As the region's cybersecurity hub, we'll be prepared for tomorrow's threats, because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
Bring the whole family to the Stone of Accord for a wonderful brunch. From traditional comfort food to eclectic specials, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And it wouldn't be a proper Missoula brunch without an Irish coffee and a mimosa. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair, restaurant, liquor store, and casino. At the Stone of Accord, we use the freshest ingredients to create our homemade traditional Irish classics, fresh salads, and creative specials. Come enjoy our warm, family-friendly atmosphere. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino.
Why would any business let you use their product and give you 365 days of reassurance? Mattress Firm does because they believe in their mattresses. Save on top brands like Nectar, Tempur-Pedic, Beautyrest, Serta, Stearns & Foster, and others. Mattress Firm carries $149 mattresses all the way up to the luxury Purple Rejuvenate Premier. 0% in payments as low as $39 a month, along with 365 days of reassurance. See why Mattress Firm is Montana's best place to find the sleep you deserve.
Mattress Firm, where it's easy to get a great night's sleep.
DeMorris Buick GMC is ready to help you safely travel Montana's scenic roads in comfort and style. Stop by DeMorris today and test drive some outstanding SUVs. Right now, take advantage of closeout pricing on the uniquely designed and well-equipped 2024 Buick Encore GX with models starting at $28,895. Don't miss this opportunity. Go to demorris.com to preview our inventory of 2024 Buick Encores and then pay a visit to DeMorris Buick GMC on West Broadway in Missoula, your family-owned hometown dealership for over 60 years.
Last few moments of our halftime. Looks like both teams are getting ready to start heading back towards their respective benches. Both teams saw great starts defensively. Opening quarter saw just one goal total from Reese Barron. Really the only big semblance or push from either offense that we saw was the 3-0 run that then saw the Tritons call a timeout to stop things. Last goal of the half was from UC San Diego. 4-2 contest as a result. Mentioned some familiarity with these two rosters over the last few seasons. Last saw each other back in 2022 and 23. Here's another fun connection. I was actually talking about this with Montana assistant coach Max Reuter back on the bench for another season, along with Ben Buskey and Tucker Sargent. Reuter works a lot with young players in the Missoula region as they come up through the youth ranks. He's worked with Asa Deskins and also Court Lehman, a couple of Griz players, but cool connection as well, a midfielder. Noah Skinner, number 19, is also a guy that worked with Coach Reuter in yesteryear. He's a Missoula, Montana native. Also went to school at Big Sky High School. So that's pretty cool to see that connection as well. Seeing Skinner on the bench right now, one of the first couple of guys to the right of the coach. Couple of flags come flying out of the face-off spot. So the Grizzlies will immediately get a man-up situation, you would think. A little frisky to start off our third quarter. It's Montana. We'll start with the ball, and looks like we'll have a man-up spot forthcoming as well. Pass high over the stick of Reese Barron at the bad news for Montana, but now we will see the penalty acknowledged. See what we got. Holding call against Zimmerman on the face-off. 30 seconds in, Grizzlies a man up with a 2-goal lead. Reeser seen some highlight plays with fancy goals. Sees it back in his cradle now, moving it quickly. Man up group. Barron thought about a behind the back pass, I believe. maybe thought better of it. As the ball keeps moving to Reeser. Walks into it, moves it to Deskins. Here's O'Brien. Almost over the head of Deskins, keeps it alive. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Shot from distance from Kroger goes in. 5-2 Griz. Sully Kroger. His awesome weekend continues. And really, it's his multifaceted offensive approach what I've really liked. It surely has been far from being a one-trick pony. Coming into the game today, to highlight that point, he had 5 goals and 7 assists, along with all the ground balls as well. He's got 11 of them in his first 2 games coming into today. In all of 2025, Kroger had 23 ground balls. Heimbach quickly to the cage. In front, waiting for a chance was Barron, was unable to put it away. Maybe ran out of real estate coming towards the crease. The Rye trying to challenge. Ball comes away from pressure. Aaron Nagy comes across the midfield stripe as the Tritons trail by 3. Their largest deficit in the game, but control it here, trying to work against this zone defense. It's been a common trait for this Griz program over the last couple of years. Shot from a little ways out. Kortner says absolutely not. Reaching up to the left. So far, my opinion, this has been the best that Joey Kortner has looked this season. Here's Reeser, cross the line with relative ease. Just as seemingly tracked every shot well and has made it look easy. That's the one thing with Kortner is how easy he makes at times being in between the pipes look. He's wild. What a talent. See if Heimbach and the Grizzlies can add to their lead. Here comes Reeser. He shoots just to the left. In X coming back on in with 35 to shoot it. Kroger. 2 men following him. Lost it. Whistle will stop things. Injured Triton. Looks like a bit shaken up is midfielder Ryan Baird. Needs a little bit of help coming off the field. 12 minutes in our third quarter. Mentioned the warm conditions and warm and dry here in the Aurora region. I mean, we're talking around 60 degrees. Just over 60. I mean, myself from Missoula, Montana, I'm up here in short sleeves for crying out loud. Of course, San Diego going down towards La Jolla, the campus of UC San Diego and Torrey Pines. Used to a lot of sunny weather. Physical at the midfield stripe. Barron trying to get possession back for the Griz. Ball will be awarded back to UC San Diego on that hit. Across the midfield stripe, making his way across, was Noah Skinner. Just mentioning his Missoula Lynx previously. So definitely could be a spot where see some post-game photo ops with a few players with Missoula Lynx on the Grizzlies. Mentioned Deskins, Lehman, also Wyatt Nelson, a local Missoula product. How cool is that to see? See a contingent of players that came up in Missoula have a chance to play college lacrosse at this level. That's awesome. For the Treasure States and for the game of lacrosse, all in one fatal swoop, I'd say. Ball in traffic. Alex Wider was there, as was Heck. Ball ended up in the back of the net, but a whistle came first. Ball will stay with the Tritons, but again, a whistle stopped play before a shot came in and got by Courtner. 10:51 in the third. Montana leads 5-2. In X with Edwards. Near sideline, here's Skinner. Pass into the middle. Defensive pressure is there from Slapper, forcing an errant pass out of bounds on the back line. This Griz bench loves it. They've been pretty vocal down there today, appreciating the efforts from the defense. And Sully Kroger in the offense. Now we'll get a chance to work it around along with Court Lehman. Kind of coming into that golden hour here in Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Start to keep an eye on the shadows as well as the sun starts to make its way down. Press box that we're in kind of creates these shadows, kind of starting to leak out in front of Courtner right now, mostly in net to our left. 10 minutes to go in the quarter. Middle, O'Brien, a skipping shot is off to the right. Bouncing that one to the right of the cage. Reese Barron will bring it back into the offensive end, using a screen partially from O'Brien. Going out wide, pass out of the cradle of Kroger, but no harm, no foul. Pass, Lehman had it almost, a chance on the near post. Beautiful look from Kroger. Eyes were going away from the near post. Lehman kind of back cuts behind the defense, had himself to a great spot, just could not quite snag it to put that one away. Seemingly everything there except for a goal in the back of the net. But that's the sort of field awareness you like on both sides there. Lehman, you like his ability to find the opening, and Kroger's ability to see the open man and try to give him the ball. Triton's the other way. Far post look, GLE extended. Here's Edwards, now an X. Passes inside. Taking a couple of bumps. I believe Kroger has it, yes. Was knocked loose near the crease, about 4 yards away from it, looked like. Reaching and grabbing it is Courtner. Alex Heck looking for somewhere, has 8 seconds, now approaching 5 seconds to make it clear. Is able to find McIntosh eventually. Like that veteran approach there from McIntosh and Heck. Yes, knowing that the 20-second clock is a factor, but you don't have to completely rush a bad pass. Just wait for the best look, make the clear. Looking for a 4-goal lead again. This is offense of Montana. Working with KJ Gilman on the near post along with Kroger. Gilman setting a screen. First-year player for the Griz, trying to find the back of the net. Feeds inside, over the top of, looks like it was Snow, cutting to the net. Ball will stay with Montana. Maybe got pushed in the back. Did Sawyer Snow, another first-year attackman. Seen Michael Ray out there, KJ Gilman, Snow, just a couple of new names to start to get to know from the Griz perspective. Another new one out there, Nathan Gendro. Had a goal yesterday from Montana. Screen set in front of Kellen O'Brien. 40 ticks on the shot. Looking for a 4-goal advantage at the 7.5-minute mark in our quarter. O'Brien on the near post. Shoots. Save is made. Rebound comes in front of the net and taken out of harm's way nicely by William Mack, the long stick defenseman. Mack now looking for somewhere to go. The ride put on by Barron. Going to go away from traffic. Max McConville with it. Whistle will stop play. Shot clock, they want it reset. Puts it at 75 and now will resume. I would say that benefits UC San Diego. Felt like more than 5 seconds had come off the clock on that clear attempt. Settling it down, or trying to on the far side. A big hit from John Butler over there, but a penalty flag also comes out. This ball will be tipped up by the Griz, and the penalty will now be acknowledged. With a big hit over there, my first thought is a cross-check. John Butler the guilty party. 30-second penalty called for interference, beg your pardon. Just seeing the nature of the contact, thought maybe reached the stick out, hit a man over there. But either way, a man up spot for UC San Diego, trying to cut the deficit back down to 2. Whistle stops play again. Maybe I'd imagine an issue with the shot clock. Yes. Still going down. They're going to stop it at 50. Back into the offensive end. In X, here's Edwards. More towards the near post. Skinner's shot stopped on one hop by Kortner. Skinner took the shot. Right there was Joey Kortner. Way up ahead, O'Brien was all by his lonesome. Long range pass works out perfectly with nothing but green grass around O'Brien. 6 minutes and change in the quarter. Lead remains 3. Defense has been strong, but as has Joey Kortner. Having himself a Sunday afternoon here, surely. Mac Angus has it back on a feed from Kroger. Gonna wind it up. Gonna come more middle. Heimbach's got some green grass in front of him. Gets it back, does the senior. Little head fake, finds space, shoots just to the left. Does Heimbach. Little hop up and down for Heimbach. Way he reacted, I think maybe feels he could have done a little bit more with that. Quickly, Reeser's shot stopped, trying to go up high. Goldbranson seemingly tracked that one well. Seemingly was able to get into the head of Reeser, knowing he would try to shoot it to that spot. Seemingly had the stick there before the shot got to him. Edwards and this UC San Diego offense trying to get something going. Little bump from behind doesn't knock the ball loose. Montana has never trailed in the contest to this point. Seen Edwards work a lot in X, but passes it there now as it comes out wide towards Skinner. The side dodge, far side comes middle. Eventually works its way back to Gail Gonzalez, who loses it, but able to pick it up in support is Murillo. He comes out to the far side. Less than 20 to shoot it, now at 15 the shot clock. Pass almost gets away. GLE Edwards, a bit closer to the cage. Bodies converge on the net, shot clock ticking down. Miller can't work it away. Alex Heck trying to pick it up off the carpet, he does. As the shot clock expires, officials will not stop play here. They'll let the Grizzlies continue on. Big hit, Reeser putting his shoulder down as 2 men hounding him on the near sideline. Can he keep it in play? Somehow he does. Comes into the middle. Deskins with space. Kroger shoots off the post. On the feed from Deskins. Montana keeps it alive. Closest to the ball on the far sideline. Reeser, not the biggest guy in the world, puts his shoulder down, sending a message to these Tritons. He keeps it alive and almost set up another goal. Able to get away from a couple of men on that transition offensive attack. Barron sees a pass get away from Kroger. That will be a turnover. Ball landed just below his stick. Kroger tried to sweep it back. Lehman, a big hit on that far sideline. Good clean check. Like to see that. Can he win it back for the Griz? You bet. Nicely done. Here comes Montana. Kroger feeds. O'Brien near post. Right in front, Barron. He scores. Reese Barron. Give him another hat trick this weekend. 4-goal lead for Montana. My goodness, what a weekend it's been for him offensively. And again, thinking about coming off of a pair of torn ACLs the last 2 years, hasn't played since 23. for him to be playing the way he is, that is sweet. Just a feel-good story. Perseverance, just pushing through all the pain to get where he is right now. And his reward is showing out with his teammates in maroon and silver. 3 minutes left in the third. Montana leading by 4. In X. Edwards on the near side to the left of the bench. Again, those shadows surely a factor now in front of Kortner. Kind of coming in and out of the shadows right now really is Kortner. Not sure if that would be advantage goalie or offensive player. My guess would be the latter. Be a bit tougher for the goalie to track a ball coming in and out of the shadows. Edwards dealing with defensive pressure on the near post. Jake Aarons was running with them. Pass gets loose with 30 seconds left to shoot it. See if Wesley Powell can do anything, moving to Adam Lipinski. Using a screen, does Lipinski, goes across the way, now coming back to X. Pass on the far post. Kortner was there to make a stop on that post. Now a race to the back line. Alex Heck was close. Bodies collide, and we see a man down. Looks like the senior Ian Hahn is shaken up. Heck kind of got tied up with him, with both men battling for the ball. I think that's where you saw the contact take place. Stoppage here with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Looks like Coach Albert Mann is out to take a peek at the injured Triton. Again, the senior Ian Hahn looks to be the injured player. Obviously in a lot of pain here. Hate to see this. Good news is he's able to work his way to his feet but not putting much weight on what looks to be the right foot. Now will be helped off the field. Obviously a tough scene for any athlete. Don't wish this on anyone. But an injury here with 2 minutes remaining in our third quarter. As athletes in good hands this weekend, with training staffs from different schools traveling with these programs. Also have seen local trainers from this Denver metro area taking care of athletes this week. So we'll get the care. Best care available, and we will resume our contest here in the third quarter, beg your pardon, with UC San Diego trying to get themselves back into the lead, or get themselves back onto the board rather. This is Edwards and X. Just over 90 ticks to go in the quarter, 35 on the shot clock. And injuries as a pass from Kortner evades the stick of Joudreau. Approaching the 1 minute mark of the quarter, a turnover will give the ball back to UC San Diego, trying to find the scoreboard in this quarter to cut the deficit to 3 before the final 15 minutes that await of our fourth quarter. And the injury bug has started to become a story. Had this note passed along to me from this UC San Diego team. Mentioned the injury we just saw, but we've seen two other players lost to injury, one being one man we haven't seen so far out there, and Thomas Kenyon, one of their top attackmen for UC San Diego, was quite active in this offense in the game we covered last night. So that's been a bit of a story for this program and team throughout the course of this Rocky Mountain Rumble as well. 30 seconds and counting in the quarter. Joey Kortner working to Alex Whiter on the near side of the field. See how interested the Grizzlies are if they make it clear and trying to attack the net here, or if they are more interested in just letting this final 15 or so seconds come off the clock. My guess is the latter. We'll see. 10 seconds left. Deskins, 2 men around him, sees a whistle, and I believe a timeout has been called on the Griz sideline. Timeout, Tucker Sargent. Yes, timeout, Grizzlies. Not much time left on the clock here in the third quarter. As of now, reads at 4.4 seconds. But Montana wants one last look at it. So timeout on the field. Timeout, Grizzlies. They'll have one left for the fourth quarter. They got a 4-goal lead on ESPN MT, Grizlax.com, and MCLA TV. Seen shot clocks and game clocks adjusted to a degree. Thought maybe there was a chance that they would add a little bit of time on the game clock. Not the case. And flipping the field to the fourth quarter, I would imagine that Joey Kortner will be happy to go towards the goal to the right, thinking about it being less in the shadows versus what we will see Gulbranson have to deal with for the final quarter of play. But we'll see what Montana has drawn up here for this sequence of what will again be about 4.5 seconds. Time here to bring it into play, a pass and maybe 2 before a shot. We'll see. Maybe something drawn up from Tucker Sargent in practice. They got something for a situation like this. Now is the time to use it. Here comes Reeser towards the middle with 3 as it pickpocketed right out of bed. And that's going to end any sort of a chance for much happening at the end of the quarter. Nicely done defensively by William Mack, able to knock that ball loose, as that will end things in our third quarter of play. Joey Kortner has been very solid in net, and the Griz offense done enough around also a solid-looking zone defense for the folks in maroon, silver, and white. They look to start off 2026 3-0. They will take a 4-goal advantage into the fourth quarter. See if UC San Diego will have something to say about it in our final quarter of play, or if Montana get off to a fabulous start in this Rocky Mountain Rumble. A quarter left here of our coverage from the Aurora, Colorado region. Montana will look to finish things off. They hold a lead 6-2 over the UC San Diego Tritons. Our fourth quarter coming up next on ESPN MT, Grizlax.com, and MCLA TV.
It's easy to see why Montana is the treasure state. At the University of Montana, we look inside. We see an old truth with fresh eyes, that Montana's greatest treasure is its people. So whatever tomorrow brings, we meet it the only way we know how, with a mind for making. Because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
(6-2) score ahead of what will be our fourth quarter of action. Clayton Byrne is giving you the eye view from atop the press box at Legacy Stadium. I'm Jeff Safford. Glad you're here for our fourth quarter of play. Montana trying to wrap up a solid weekend. The Tritons looking to pull off a big comeback in this final quarter, trailing by 4. A battle for possession starts off the quarter. Swept towards the midfield stripe, but right to a waiting Mason Slapper. Seems like wherever the ball goes this year, number 17 follows, but a thrall thrown away by Slapper over the stick of Kellen O'Brien. .30 seconds into the fourth quarter, it looks like Slapper and the Grizzlies were going to start with the ball first. Ball thrown away far sideline. Tritons will now have a chance to cut into the deficit. Obviously sitting on 2 goals starting the fourth quarter. Offense has been tough to come by, but a start with the ball here in this final quarter. Sometimes all you need is something to get you going offensively. Alex Heck takes one away. Kind of coming awkwardly out of a stick in that spot, but Heck, Johnny on the spot, is able to pluck it and move it up ahead to McIntosh. Uses his lower shoulder to find a little momentum down the far sideline. Gets around a man and uses a screen from Max Scott to settle things down to a degree. And how will the strategy change offensively for Montana? Imagine, keep the clock in the back of your head as this quarter goes. 35 seconds on the shot clock. Axel Heimbach, the Colorado native, towards Reeser with 30. Dips his shoulders, looking for space, past his middle. A shot from Heimbach, he's got it. Bottom left corner. 5-goal lead for Montana. It's 7-2. For a guy that's as tall as Heimbach is, standing well over 6'4", it was his ability to kind of dip underneath the defense there and pivot his hips around to get that shot off, to get around the defense that was in the vicinity of it. Once he got his angle he wanted, was able to bury it. Face-off one, though, the other way. Here comes Zimmerman towards the net on the far post. Griz defense does a nice job of getting back after that face-off win from the Tritons, not allowing a quick look offensively after the face-off win. 2 minutes gone in the quarter. Lead is 5 for Montana. Skinner. Seeing it move towards Edwards and X with his old buddy Alex Wider following him around. That's been a trend in X all game. Up top, working its way back towards Edwards, now an X. Skinner lost it in the middle. Is there a flag down here? Grizzlies making it clear. Graves to the cage, finds Kroger, top shelf, he scores. Sully, the gully bully, Kroger, 8-2. Had to bring that little nickname out from last year. 12-12 remaining fourth quarter. Montana starting to stretch it out now. To this point has been a solid performance from Tucker Sargent's group. Defense rock solid. Kroger, the offense doing their thing. Joey Kortner's had his best performance. Coming towards the cage again, straight on, right at Kortner. Bounces over the net. Does the shot from Blake Zimmerman. Santa Clarita native trying to do it all himself offensively, didn't work out. Edwards with, you guessed it, 51 following him around. kind of a la another defenseman from yesteryear. Man that was on the roster for the Griz the last time these two teams got together, former Ace MCLA Player of the Year. Pass near side, shot nowhere near the target. Kind of came out of the cradle awkwardly on the shot from Wesley Powell. 11:32 to go. 40 on the shot, ball in the middle of the defense. Slapper making sure no alley available along with Gabe Miller. Edwards in X, looks, has a pass deflected by Courtner in the crease. Able to reach the stick up and take that pass away. Rumbling across is Jake Ahrens. Finding Michael Ray eventually. Grizzlies not in much of a hurry, and why would they be, with a 6-goal advantage. Ticking under 4 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. Ball with Max Scott way away from us. Screen from Ray there allows him to get a pass off to O'Brien. Kellen O'Brien gets around one, shoots, a save made, rebound comes in front. Available on the carpet, Lehman's stick got in there, as does Ray's. He shoots, and he's got another, his second of the game. Cleaning up the mess on the rebound. 9-2 Griz. 10:20 remaining in the fourth. Whistle sounds. Albert Mann has seen enough. Timeout Tritons. Grizzlies rolling with 10:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the field. Grizzlies lead things by 7 with 10:20 left in the contest on ESPN MT, Grizzlocks.com, and MCLA TV.
University of Montana, we meet health with heart. Since 1893, Grizzlies have served on the front line of medical innovation, preparing for the future of health and wellness. Our medical school acceptance rate is 20% above the national average. With more than 72 pathways to a career in health, UM is training the next generation of healthcare professionals. Because what's made in Montana is remaking the world.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Montana firmly in control as we return out of a timeout. Can the Tritons stop the bleeding in time in this fourth? It will surely take a monumentous effort now. With the clock at 10:15 and counting. Battle for possession involving John Butler. A hit coming from the weak side from Deskins. Couldn't knock it loose as Edwards will settle things down. Grizzlies looking for their third win of this Rocky Mountain Rumble, and third game with 10 goals or more, sitting at 9 right now. Pestering the ball up top. Pass got around to one man, but Joey Courtner takes it to the left of the cage when the ball snuck into the crease. Courtner tossing up ahead. Gendro with plenty of space is able to make a pretty easy clear there. Now it may become just a matter of, when you get possession, using that clock to your advantage. With Sully Kroger directing traffic offensively. To me, you've seen with Kroger specifically on the offensive side, as Snow finds it in the middle, takes a hit, No dirty laundry on the field. Triton's trying to settle it down. Kroger ends up with a loose ball and scores again. 10-2 Montana. Look what I found if you're Sully Kroger. That ball getting bounced around. Somehow he ended up with it to the left of the net. Thank you very much. Shoots it into the back of the net. 8:49 to go, fourth quarter. 10-2 is the lead. But Kroger has been a contributor in this Griz program the last 2 seasons. But with him stepping into year 3, feels more like a season in which a veteran guy takes that next step to becoming a go-to guy, a leader on the offensive side. I think you've started to see signs of that with how he has played the last couple of games, doing a little bit of everything. Here comes Wider across the midfield stripe. ZF thoughts of doing something offensively, feeds it off to Max Scott, coming now to X to Barron. A lot of production from him as well. With all the goals into the back of the net, being one of their top offensive weapons. 8 minutes and counting, with the Griz out in front by 8. KJ Gilman, along with Judrow. Working far wing, whips it back into X. Kroger, directing traffic, wants Barron to cut inside. He does, and shoots just to the left. That was all Kroger setting up that chance. Uses his screen, still has it. 2 men come his way, a flag is out. Penalty flag is on the field. Little stutter move in X, moving quickly. Gets inside, pass off the siding of the cage. This will be now a penalty acknowledged. 7:24 in the fourth quarter. Man down situation for UC San Diego. Coming, penalty flag is, what do we got at midfield? Slash penalty was called. Asa Deskins in the offense gives it a look. Man up chance to just keep on rolling offensively. Bouncing ball will end up with Reeser. Beg your pardon, O'Brien to Reeser. Duo playing catch. 38 on the shot. Ball on the carpet. Bouncing it around. Max Scott, can he pick it up? Save the possession? No. Looks like Skinner comes out of there with it for UC San Diego. Coming this way with it, trying to find an avenue to a clear. Whistle stops play. Shot clock did not reset on that change of possession. So they'll take some time off of it and give a whistle and are ready for play. Subjects for the game upcoming on MCLA TV starting to make their way towards the field. Arizona Christian and North Dakota State will be the final game of the day. Our job, myself and Clayton Byrne, will be finished after this game featuring Montana. The coverage will resume on MCLA TV if you want to stay tuned for the next game upcoming. Ball out of bounds on the far sideline. We'll see it go back to the Grizzlies. Pass intercepted. Maybe a little bit too casual with the ball there, Montana. Skinner able to make the interception for UC San Diego. Seeing it come back into the offensive end. Defenseman Kyle Lincoln patrolling things on that far post. Veteran defenseman for the Griz program, junior. Mentioned the Treasure State connections. The Missoula natives, Kyle Lincoln from the other side of the divide over in Bozeman, Montana. Alex Whiter following around Edwards. That's been surely has been a good strategy. One of the go-to guys offensively. Whiter has done a fabulous job controlling him. 5:38 to go. A loose ball will be picked up by Reeser. Now trying to use his speed to race into the offensive end to get around a couple of white shirts. Finds a little bit of green grass to get around one. Now will leak back towards the far sideline, knowing that possession and keeping the clock moving are the main objectives here, with the lead standing at 8. Axel Heimbach, who scored earlier in the quarter, has it, trying to swim through traffic. Had it knocked away as he came into a thicket of the defense, coming towards the net. A loose ball, body came into the crease. Now we'll see it go back to UC San Diego. I believe it was Reese Barron coming too far towards the netminder. Less than 5 to go in our fourth quarter. Montana has been rolling throughout the course of this second half especially. Shot off the near post from Edwards. A tough angle there. Mason Slapper trying to race to it in the far sideline and picks it up. But did he step out of bounds? The officials indicate so, yes. See it go back to UC San Diego. 4.5 in our fourth, with the Tritons back on the ball. Little head fake on the near side by Lipinski. Sees it knocked loose. Able to get back to it as it reverses course to the far side to Edwards. Pops a pass to GLE. Lipinski, near side GLE. Edwards to the far wing. 50 on the shot. Shot from in the middle, ends up right with Edwards and X. Gets it right back up top. Shot clock did not reset. Edwards almost had it go over his head. A pass. Comes to the near post. Whiter right with him. 30 seconds to shoot. Near side shot. It's reaching to the left. On that shot attempt, Kortner saw his agility there, how he was able to kick his foot out quickly to the left. Reached the stick up over his legs, taking away seemingly any alley to the back of the net. Shot wasn't on the cage though. Just an example of his agility, how agile this cat is. 10 seconds left in the shot. Ball was taken away next by Kortner. Took it into the crease, Gabe Miller. Far sideline is able to make his way across. Last 3 minutes and change in this fourth quarter. Grizzlies can smell it now. To this point has been a fabulous effort from this Grizz team. And what a way for Montana, rolling through these last 3 minutes to get this 26 campaign started. Kroger staying out wide. Now maybe will work towards the net. Takes a shot. Almost finding the top right-hand corner. Branson getting just enough on it. Penalty flag flies. Far sideline with a big hit over there. So clock stops with 2:21. Little frisky coming down the stretch of this one. I could hear Tucker Sargent on the bench relaying a message to his team on the sideline. Let's settle it down here, boys. Things have gone great to this point. Don't need to see any kerfuffles out there. Sully Kroger's in the penalty area. 2-minute non-releasable penalty served to Kroger. So the officials surely sending a bit of a message there on the cross-check penalty. That's one way to try to keep things under control from a physical standpoint. Send a message to both benches in these last 2 minutes and change. Hey, try any funny stuff, any physical hits, we're going to get you for that sort of stuff. And to me, that's a good way for the officials to keep control of both benches. When you get a game like this, sizable advantage for one team, you can see frustration and stuff like that spill over. That's how you can avoid a lot of drama. Officials sending messages to a degree. Timeout on the field as well, with just over 2 minutes remaining in our fourth quarter. Talked about this a bit at half, but upcoming schedules on the way. UC San Diego will head on home for a chunk of time. For the next couple of weekends, they will play host to Chico State next Saturday for the next game. Montana a week off next week before getting back to the road against one of the participants in the Rocky Mountain Rumble this weekend, Utah State, familiar non-conference foe. Play resuming, 65 on the shot clock. 2 minutes in our fourth quarter. Edwards has been kept quiet along with this attack of the Tritons all game long. Seeing it move across the way quickly. Man down also are the Grizzlies. Edwards able to find the back of the net with some space. 10-3 now score, with 1:44 remaining in this fourth quarter. And Sully Kroger will be in the penalty area for just about the remainder of our contest. There was about a 20-second difference between the game and penalty time. Again, Kroger called for a 2-minute non-releasable cross-checking penalty. So no matter how many goals the Tritons score in this sequence, Kroger won't go anywhere until his penalty time comes to an end. Face-off win, nicely executed, sweeping that one off to the left by Zimmerman. One of the better face-offs he's had today. Being able to sweep that one to the wing, just like how you draw it up. 90 ticks to go in our game. Got ourselves a football score here at Legacy Stadium. Edwards again keeping the ball moving. Out of thin air, Wider's stick got in the way. Almost plucked that one right out of the sky. Able to knock it loose. Aaron's trying to pluck it as well, along with Heck. Triton's able to win the race to the loose ball with Edwards. Back with it. 1 minute to go. Coming down close. Able to reach out and make a save. Able to work his way to a good spot. Looked to be in that spot Skinner, but Kortner makes another beauty of a save. 40 seconds left in our contest. Kortner finds Judrow, throws it over his stick, but right to Barron beyond the play at the midfield stripe. That might just do it with about 25 seconds to go. Barron and the Grizzlies can just kind of saunter around in the offensive end. Don't have to take a shot the rest of the way. Surely a long road back, about 900 miles between here and the campus in Missoula, but it surely should be a happy road back to Zootown as the Griz finish off the weekend with a 3-0 record as they come away with a 10-3 win over UC San Diego. A solid performance in all aspects for Montana this evening. They get themselves a convincing 10-3 win over the Tritons of UC San Diego. Surely a bit short-handed with the injury bug tripping up the Tritons. Came into today having lost 2 men offensively, one of them being one of their top offensive players, and Thomas Kenyon also saw an injury throughout the course of our contest. Ian Hans suffering an injury is on the athletic trainers table down below us right now with his leg all iced up obviously we hope the best for him. But the Grizzlies get off to a great start in this early stage of the season with a win today, 10-3, and they will take a 3-0 record with them back up north on the Interstate 25, the 15, and eventually 90. Surely a long way home for Montana, but a successful trip here to Aurora, Colorado with 3 wins in the book. Rocky Mountain Rumble, not quite done. Next on MCLA TV will be Arizona Christian and North Dakota State University. This game, though, in the books with Montana finding a victory over UC San Diego. It's been a lot of fun this weekend. Glad you've had a chance to come along for the ride with us. Believe myself and Clayton Byrne on the camera had a half dozen games, the last couple of games to chat about, not including Montana. So surely a lot of lacrosse over the last couple of days. Surely want to thank on the tech side of the equation with MCLA TV Rick Clattis for his help. Also from ESPN MT on the tech side of our equation, production on the production side of things, our engineer and producer Tommy Evans, and the aforementioned cameraman Clayton Byrne. My name is Jeff Safford. That's a wrap for us on this side of the equation, but again, stay tuned here on MCLA TV as the Firestorm and the Bison are coming up next in just a few minutes. So for myself, Jeff Safford on ESPN MT, so long from Aurora, Colorado at Legacy Stadium. Grizzlies moved to 3-0 on the weekend. UC San Diego defeated here today by a final score of 10-7 as their record moves overall to 2-3. See you in a few weeks for more Montana Grizzly lacrosse. Until then, have a fantastic what's left of your President's Day weekend. Grizz get the win, 10-3 over UC San Diego.